On today's episode, we're going to talk about using a home improvement marketing agency and how doing this can boost your remodeling business by helping you develop a comprehensive marketing strategy. In fact, it's interesting today, I've had a conversation with a couple of home remodeling companies, and one of the things they've expressed to me is just the real frustration they've had when they've been looking at their marketing strategy and this over-dependence upon this one tactic and how that has become very costly and ineffective for them. And so one of the things that's become very critical is the need for a comprehensive strategy. You'll often hear me talk about the ecosystem. We don't want to put all the burden and all the weight on just one particular strategy, because what happens is if you lose that strategy, it can really sink your business quickly. All it takes is for a Google algorithm update or a change in the marketing landscape to just take away that one traffic source you've become so dependent upon. And so it's the creation of this comprehensive strategy, this ecosystem footprint that really is going to give you this all-weather ability in your complete marketing. And so that's what we're going to get into today in our episode. And so as we go through our discussion today, here's some of the things that we'll be talking about. We're going to be talking about how working with a specialized agency that operates within the industry, not just somebody that, works with the restaurant and the chiropractor and you and the veterinarian, but somebody who actually specializes in home remodeling companies, and how working with them can really help you develop this comprehensive all-weather strategy that is going to help you thrive in today's environment. And so some of the things that we'll be looking at today as we go through our discussion, we'll be looking at the importance of specialized marketing as opposed to a general, or I'm going to call it shotgun approach marketing. We'll talk about the core marketing strategies that should make up your marketing footprint. We'll look at how do you build trust with homeowners through your online marketing. We'll talk about the importance of having an emotional appeal to your marketing, and this is something that gets overlooked all too often. We'll also be discussing the balance in your marketing, how to create a balanced approach to your marketing so that you're not overly dependent upon any one particular mechanism or putting too much burden on any one particular mechanism. We'll talk about measuring your results and the metrics you need to be paying attention to. We'll talk about professional marketing expertise versus do-it-yourself. And it's kind of interesting us talking about that here on a remodeling marketing podcast, because as a home remodeler, you are constantly dealing with those who want to do it themselves versus hire you. And so you'll probably get a little bit of a tickle out of this conversation as we talk about marketing, because you've encountered that yourself. And I've met with many of you who, one of the things you hate the most is when you walk into somebody's house and they say, hey, let me show you, I did this over here. And you're just like, oh my God, that's horrible. Well, sometimes as a marketer, we feel the same way. When somebody says, yeah, look, this is the stuff I've been doing. And you're like, oh, no wonder you're struggling here. So anyway, we'll talk about professional marketing expertise versus do-it-yourself. And then we'll talk about tailored marketing for those unique demographics, time efficiency, and then we'll be looking at how to choose the right home improvement marketing agency when you're really ready to scale your growth. And so with that, let's go ahead and dive into the topic today. So we want to craft the right marketing approach for your remodeling business. Everybody's remodeling business is different. Let me, give you a little scenario. I was talking with a prospective client yesterday, and so he was asking me about some of the clients that we work with. And he was discussing his business and, asking me about other businesses that we work with and, who matches up. And I said, here's the thing. Nobody exactly matches up to you because everybody's motivations are different. Every business owner has a different reason for structuring their business the way that they structure it. That could be the community that they're working in. That could be the availability of labor and the talent pool that they work with. It could be the types of homeowners they're working with. It could be a number of factors. So no two home remodeling companies are the same. And because of that, one size is not going to fit all. There's not a cookie cutter solution that works. And the truth is, if somebody is coming to you with a plug and play system, you should probably run, because although it may check off some boxes for you, it's not going to be perfect. It's kind of like prefab windows that aren't really custom built for the hole in the house. That means you're going to have to do a lot of shimming and a lot of extra work to make that fit. It's not a custom fit. And so, one of the things that we want to make happen when we're talking about crafting your marketing to your business is you want that marketing strategy to actually fit your business, your objectives, and the community that you are working within. So the primary goal should be to attract high quality leads who are interested in remodeling services, and not just interested, genuinely interested, not tire kickers, not window shoppers, but people who are actively considering doing some type of work to their home. So it's not just about generating any leads. It's not just about getting people's names who may or may not be interested someday. It's about connecting with people who really fit your target audience. And something you need to bear in mind is not every customer is the right customer for you. And so you need to get clear on who is the best customer for you, who fits that profile best. And a successful campaign should include, if we're going to be comprehensive, and I'm a big fan of being comprehensive. So you're going to hear me talk about the ecosystem. I believe if you're going to be in business to dominate your marketplace. And when I say dominate your marketplace, be the best of the best. Be the go-to home remodeling company in your area. Be the first name people think of when they think of home remodeling. Be recognizable. Be a name that if it's thrown out there, people go, oh yeah, I've heard of them, or oh yeah, I've seen them. That's the kind of recognition you want to have. If people don't know who you are, that's no good. And so I'm a firm believer in, I call it the full court press. And so if you're going to run the full court press, here's what it's going to look like. It's going to have search engine optimization, because you need to appear in search results when potential clients are looking for the services you offer. Most transactions are going to begin with an online search. You can't miss out on that. You've got to be visible in those searches. To be visible in those searches means you're going to have a web presence. To have a web presence means you're at least going to have a Google business profile at the very least, and ideally you're going to need to have a website as well. The second piece of this is pay-per-click advertising. Now, here's something I'm going to say. A big mistake I see a lot of contractors make, and here's an ugly thing I see in the marketing industry, is too much emphasis is put on pay-per-click advertising. Everybody thinks it's the magic bullet. The solution to your problems is pay-per-click advertising. Well, not necessarily. See, pay-per-click advertising is a great way to gain quick visibility for specific keywords, especially while your SEO is gaining traction, but it should not be the end-all solution for you. That's a dangerous place to be, because there's too many things that can happen with that pay-per-click traffic. too many variables, competition, algorithm changes. Now with the automations, there's a lot of things that there's not as much control over. So pay-per-click advertising should be a part of the mix, but don't become overly dependent upon it. Content creation. Publish blogs, how-to guides, case studies, those types of things, because you want to position your company as an industry authority. And there's a term you're going to hear me use a lot. And if you haven't heard it already, you're going to hear it more and more in the days ahead. And that is, you need to be a topical authority in your marketplace. And the reason for this, especially in this artificial intelligence driven search environment, the artificial intelligence is looking for topical authority on the subject matter. So traditional search is based on keywords. AI-driven search is based on topical authority. Where is the best information found? And so content is what creates topical authority. Blogs, how-to guides, case studies, those types of things. And then, of course, social media marketing. Because effective social media campaigns are going to help, number one, build your brand and make people aware of your brand. Number two, and this is one that I think is super critical, it is your place to showcase your best work, to let the consumer have a taste of what it is you do so that they have a reason to call you. And it will help with consistent lead flow. Now, you may not always generate direct leads from social media, but what social media will do is it will cause people to go out and search for you and show up on your website and show up on your Google business profile. So I'm a firm believer that you always want to have strong social media presence in conjunction with everything else that you're doing. So why hire a home improvement marketing agency? Well, let's just talk about all those things we named. You're busy running your business. You've got a lot on your plate already, and you probably don't have time, A, to learn all of those things, B, to stay on top of them, and C, become an expert in those things. If you do, then there's going to be other parts of your business that are lagging. So it's important to bring in experts. Here's the other part. You could hire all of that in-house, but you're going to spend a lot more to hire those same individuals. So for less than what you would pay a single person to come in and help you with marketing, you can hire a whole team of experts. And that's really the benefit of hiring that agency. So you are bringing a team of experts, and you're bringing their resources and their tools to bear on your particular company and marketplace. And so what that's going to do is allow you to develop a stronger marketing presence in a much more cost-effective way. And so by building a deeper marketing bench, you're going to be able to build trust with homeowners in your community. You're going to be able to develop those strategies that can enhance your brand credibility. And part of that's going to be through gaining positive reviews. One of the things that you're going to want to be doing with your marketing agency partner is constantly fostering more reviews, more testimonials, and building a deeper online presence so that you've got a more trustworthy brand, and that's going to help foster a greater degree of lead generation because people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And then what that marketing agency is going to be able to do is help you overcome some of the challenges you're going to find, whether that's creating engaging content, handling negative reviews, competing against larger companies. It's going to help level the playing field for you because they're going to have the tools and the experience to effectively navigate and overcome some of those obstacles and challenges. Now, when we talk about the marketing strategy itself, Let's dig into some of these components a little deeper. So first of all, let's talk about website optimization, SEO. An optimized website is the cornerstone of your digital marketing strategy. I call it the center of your ecosystem, the center of your universe, because your potential clients are searching online for services just like yours. And you need to make it easy for them to find you. And so using targeted keywords, search engine optimization is going to help your website to rank better in those relevant searches. What that's going to do is it's going to increase your visibility and it's going to increase your credibility. And as we talked about before, then there's pay-per-click advertising. Now, this shouldn't be the thing that you put all your hopes on. Pay-per-click advertising is really meant to bring some top end and some quick traffic to you while your search engine optimization is taking hold, because search engine optimization takes some time. Pay-per-click advertising can provide immediate visibility, and whether you're using the search engines or the social media platforms to do that advertising, it can drive targeted traffic to your website within a matter of hours. It's also a good complement to your search engine optimization efforts because it's going to help you cover gaps where maybe you're not ranking as well on the organic side. Then, of course, you have video marketing, and this is something, again, I see a lot of remodelers just absolutely ignoring and neglecting. You can attract a lot of interest by creating and promoting video content, especially on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, because video marketing is going to give a behind-the-scenes look at your projects. It's going to build trust and credibility, and more content is consumed by video today than any other medium. In particular, shorts and reels are the popular mode of video content. Shorts and reels just simply mean it's a piece of video content that is less than 60 seconds in length, and you'll find that has great organic value. In fact, our internal reps at Facebook tell us that the algorithm actually looks for short form video less than 60 seconds to promote in the organic feed. Because they know that that's what people like. They keep it they keep themselves on Facebook when video content is there. A little side note is if there's talking on there, put captions on it. Most people will watch those videos with the sound off, but they'll read the captions. So just a little extra hint, little tidbit for you. Social media sharing. Be sure and promote your remodeling services and projects on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, because those platforms are going to enable you to create shareable content. And by all means, you need to be posting your finished projects, your testimonials, your promotional offers. If you've got client testimonial videos, that needs to be on these platforms. But in particular, the thing that you don't want to miss doing is putting your finished projects on these platforms. Let people see your work. I can't make that clear enough. And let me reiterate this. Make sure the lighting is good. Get the paint cans and the rags and the soda cans and all that crap out of the picture. Take good pictures. Show off your best work and show it off well. And do it often. And then you want to tailor your marketing strategies specifically for your remodeling business. You know, this is the reason for working with a specialized agency. You know, an agency that works with the restaurant, the bowling alley, and the veterinarian, they understand marketing, but they don't understand your business. And what you need to do is you need to be able to craft those strategies, those techniques specifically towards your business. And here's why this is important, because at the end of the day, the decision to hire a home remodeling company is an emotional decision. People make that decision first with emotion, and then they validate that decision with logic. And so we have to appeal to the emotional side when making a home improvement decision. And so when we market the services, and this is why the images are so important, this is why video and pictures are so important, using imagery and messaging that evokes feelings of comfort, of beauty, and satisfaction are critical. If we don't stir the emotions first, we'll never get to the point of closing the logical sale. And so these emotional triggers are critical for the homeowner to decide that they're going to move forward with the remodeling project. And we have to deal with the emotional component of trust and authority. And so to convert prospects into clients, you have to establish yourself as trustworthy. You have to remember, one of the fears that homeowners have is being ripped off. They've heard the horror stories of shoddy workmanship and pricing issues. And so we have to establish trust. Trust brings comfort. Comfort brings peace. Those are all emotional triggers. And so it's important to create this combination of positive customer reviews and testimonials and educational content, and use consistent social proof to build this underlying feeling, this underlying sense of trust and perceived authority on your part as the home remodeler. And then you also want to strike a balance between inbound and paid advertising. And here's what I mean by that. Inbound is what we call attraction marketing, and this is my favorite type of marketing. That's where you do a good job of showing who you are and putting your value out there, and people just raise their hand and say, I want to know more about you, and I want to know more about your services. Tell me more. And then paid advertising is where I'm minding my own business and you interrupt me with an ad that says, call us, we'd like to remodel your bathroom. I may or may not be interested. There's a difference between the two, but you need a balance. And so an integrated approach is going to use both, and an agency will help you figure out the best strategy to do that. And so inbound marketing is going to give you long-term residual visibility. And what I mean by residual is it keeps going and going and going. Whereas pay-per-click will generate quick traffic and leads, but it's not residual. Once that click is clicked, that dollar is spent and it's gone. And so there needs to be a balance, because SEO does take time to deliver results, especially for highly competitive keywords. And so using pay-per-click to shore up those keywords is a good strategy. It'll help gain visibility quickly, even before your SEO takes hold. Now, with everything you do, you want to measure success. And so you want to look at your key metrics to make sure that what you're doing is producing the results you want. So there's a couple of key metrics you want to be looking at. Number one, traffic volume. How many potential clients are visiting your website? What are your conversion rates? Are those visitors turning into leads or clients? Are you getting form fills, phone calls, text messages, messenger messages, whatever your form of contact is from the website? And then, are you getting a positive return on investment? What are you getting back for every dollar that you spend? And so regularly analyzing these metrics are going to help you identify which keywords, which advertising campaigns, which marketing approaches are working best. It's also going to ensure that resources are allocated effectively. And so when we take a look at this, here comes the real question though. So why hire an outside agency? Why get professional marketing help when you could just do it yourself? Yeah, that's why I said this is going to sound kind of familiar because you're dealing with homeowners sometimes. You know, why should they hire you when they could go to Home Depot and buy the materials and do it themselves? Well, kind of the same answers in a lot of cases. Because doing it yourself may seem like a cost-saving option, but in the end it can be very time-consuming and ineffective if you don't have the right knowledge and skills. Because number one, time is money. And you need to assess, where is your time best spent? What is the highest and best use of your time? And what are your income-producing activities? And you don't really make money designing campaigns for online. You make money getting in front of homeowners. And so marketing is something that takes time away from other aspects of your business. And so by hiring an agency to come in, you're putting your time back where it belongs. Number two is that agency is going to have access to advanced tools that you probably are not going to have access to. They're going to have design tools, they're going to have research tools, they're going to have analytics tools, and because they are working in volume with lots of campaigns, lots of ad spend, lots of search campaigns, they're just going to have access to things you just simply don't. It's going to allow them to look deeper, it's going to allow them to analyze deeper, it's going to allow them to be a lot more creative in the way they approach the strategy. And so when we talk about partnering with a home improvement marketing agency, it is a very powerful way to amplify your remodeling business's reach. Now, again, I want to clarify, this isn't just grabbing the marketing agency that works with everybody. We're talking about working with somebody that's specific to your vertical, that works with home remodelers. And you need to be prepared to spend some money when you do that. A good agency is probably going to charge you between $1,000 to $5,000 a month, depending on how complex of a marketing strategy you need. If you're just needing some basic Google business profile management or review management, reputation management, it might be $1,000 a month. If you're needing a full suite of services, website optimization, ad management, SEO, local SEO, all of those things, could be upwards of $5,000 a month, depending on how large of a market you are trying to dominate. And so, there are a lot of factors that come into that. So you need to be prepared that this isn't just a small expenditure. Marketing is an investment, but you should be looking for a positive return on that investment. The mistake I see a lot of contractors make. I meet a lot of contractors who think that marketing should be a $500 a month expenditure, and for that $500 a month, their phone should just ring off the hook. That's a fallacy. And so just know that you've got to have an accurate perception of and expectations. Realistically, just to help you kind of set your mind in the right direction, Small Business Administration says that whatever your revenues are at, or whatever your revenue target is at, you should plan on spending about 10% of that revenue on marketing. Now, real world, I never see anybody spend 10%. Not generally. Some do, but very few. Real world, generally, we see most spending between 3 to 6%. Ideally, if you're aggressive, you're going to be on that 6% end. If you're super conservative, you've got a lot of referral business coming in, you're probably going to be closer to that 3% range. But that's what you need to be figuring on, what your marketing spend should be. So whatever your revenue target is this year, figure that on a 3 to 6% number, and that's going to give you a good idea of where you should be on your marketing expenditures. If you'd like to talk more about developing a marketing strategy with a specialized agency, be sure and give us a call at Remodeling Marketing Team, or go online. You can schedule with us there as well. We'd love to talk with you about being your agency partner, and glad you tuned in with me today. Looking forward to having you with us on the next episode.